Hello.
Hello, so welcome everyone to this webinar. So I think we are going to start. So welcome on with the webinar dedicated to research. So today we are here to discover together and figure out all the opportunities dedicated to research and innovation. So to start, just to remind you, this webinar will be recording if it's okay with all of you. Ulysses, so please go on next slide. Thank you. So who are you? Ulysses is University Alliance. I don't have CN on the following slide. Bruna, if you just could. Okay. Sorry. So this is a team who will host this webinar today. So with me, I have Edil Bakayan, which is our international project officer. I have the pleasure to have Thomas Pavlik as well, who is the innovation hub manager of our university in Tukaj, Slovakia. Jean-Louis Cavazza, head of a digital platform at the University Côte d'Azur, and me, so Sabrina Copin. So I am the Innovation Hub Manager in Ulysses at the University Côte d'Azur. So this is the team who will host with you this webinar today. Okay. So a quick presentation, overview of Ulysses. So we are an European University Alliances composed of 8 partners. So here you have the map of all the partners involved in the alliance. So our vision is to develop a university, a European university based on excellence and to foster research, innovation, and entrepreneurships. So you will find in each country an innovation hubs, and within these innovation hubs, you will find many things. So first of all, you obviously find joint research groups, living lab activity, open classes with training and courses, an incubator with a startup program, and digital platform with some applications and tools. And recently, we also had introduced our Ulysses Students Association within our campus. So this is how our alliance is working. So we are going to show you more precisely all the initiatives existing in this alliance today. So the program we will develop today is on 3 points. So yeah. The other slides, please go next. Bruna, if you can go on next slide, please. Oh, I think, okay. There is a, sorry. Yeah, so please go on next slide, Bruna, if you can. Okay. Okay, so just 2 minutes. We have a technical matter, but we will be back soon. Okay. Yes. Okay, perfect. So I was saying the webinar program of today. First we will talk about with Jean-Loïc all the digital tools and digital platform we have developed for researchers in Ulysses. Then we'll do a focus on research and innovation groups with focus on seed funding. And last but not least, with Adil, we will talk about International Project Office and calls opportunity. And at the end of this session, we will keep a short time to just discuss and answer to your questions. So we are very happy to have you in this webinar today, and be free to ask any question directly in the chat here, and our team will try to answer you as soon as possible. So thank you, and I'm giving the floor to Jean-Loïc first for the presentation of our digital hubs.
Thank you, Sabrina. So thanks for inviting me. I'm very glad to speak about the tools we have put in place in Ulysses. And I will start with the aim of those tools. So can you go to the next slide, please? So digital tools are a very, very important part of our European Alliance, because as we are spread across Europe, and all our research communities are not always bound with each other. The digital tools are here to support that binding, to help them find each other, collaborate with each other, interact, and find what each other is doing. So that's exactly the tools we've put in place, and it's a long road. I mean, it's not finished yet, but we already have some of them. So tools to find experts across the Ulysses ecosystem, tools to find the science that those experts are producing within Ulysses, and allow them to interact during events, after events, for calls, for projects, and beyond. So going to the next slide, we have, I will present 3 tools that we've been doing, and I will need to be able to share my screen. So Bruna, if you can allow me to share my screen, because I will make some demos.
Okay, just 1 second.
No worry, no worry. I will speak by the meantime. So the first tool I've put in place is an expert database. The principle is quite simple. The goal is to have in one place all the people who are voluntary to.
You can share when you want.
Okay. I will share it now. So grabbing back to the presentation, up, and sharing. Screen 1, no, screen 2. Do you see my screen correctly?
Yes, yeah. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So what it features is like a kind of search engine with like full flavored like research profiles. The principle is simple. We disseminate the fact that this database exists. We engage researcher into registering themselves and filling in their research profile. And the goal is to be able to find other researchers based on keywords, based on seniority, based on plenty of stuff. So I will show you right away how it works. Expecting that.
Sorry, Jean-Luc. No, it's okay. It's okay.
So you will land on this page. So what we've tried to do is to make it simple. So you can join with your university login. So as a part of University Côte d'Azur, I will just go through this link. funny thing. That always works. And right now it didn't. Oh, okay, cool. I don't know why. So I land my profile. So I already put some effort into filling it in. You can put your ORCID, you can put your LinkedIn profile, or any sort of profile you want to put, your language, like are you part of research group? If you are part of a research group, please indicate what kind of research group your career stage, your area of expertise, so you can choose your main keywords and your detailed keywords, plus some more if you want. With plenty of pages, and the goal is that at the end of filling in this profile, we should have all the elements that are needed when you're answering to calls, and you have to fill in the first part where you present researchers. Well, this database is really helping us at having all the information already gathered and to speed up at candidating for calls. So each time you reply yes to any question as you guess, you're gonna have some more questions to answer on research transfer on whatever. So if ever you have already published stuff, you can as well mention it, your publications, your projects, European projects you've been participating to. And at the end, we'll ask you, are you okay that we use this data to contact you? And like, what kind of privacy level do you want? Like, do you want that this stays private and only the Ulysses staff can access it and contact you? Or do you want to make it available to all logged in user? And as soon as it's done, then you have access as well to our whole community of researchers. So for now, it has started in November, so it's quite like the early stages. Some universities have widely disseminated already. Some others have not yet widely disseminated it, so it's just a start. And then you can filter like the way you want, by institution, by language if it's something you care about, gender, career stage, and what you may like is around the area expertise or the keywords straight away. Let's say you want to work on health, for instance, or I had an example about organic chemistry, for instance, because I will reuse this example later on. So for now, we don't have many. We only have 2 of them, and we have like Jose and someone else who didn't fill in his name, but I can go and check it out, get the ORCID and try to see. Okay, José Jimenez. We're trying to update the profile. These people forgot to put their first name, last name. We do it. Usually those people didn't join with their university, so we don't have it by default. Okay. Oh, I close the page. So roughly you have the idea of what it is, and it's available at Ulysses.eu/experts. So that's the first tool we wanted to present. The second one, so this tool is really great to find people who are engaged into Ulysses and that are volunteering for being part of like European calls or all the stuff we do in the project. But sometimes you want to find people who are not in this database because they don't know about it and they've not been reached by us through any of the emails or any of the workshops or events we've done. So this is where the second tool is coming in the picture. It's the Open Science repository. We have built a repository of all the open science that was available in Ulysses. So when I say all, it's not true. We have 4 out of 8 of the open science repositories in the Alliance, because some of them don't exist. They don't have an open science repository, and so they don't have any easy way to get the science. And some of them have, like Münster, for instance, and we're still developing some tools to adapt the content to our repository. The principle is simple, so if you want to have more than just like the topic, the profile name, you can then search with more complex research. So I put an example, for instance, spirocyclic perfumes. Why that? Because I know we have an expert, like we've doing plenty of stuff with perfumes because we have the city of Grasse next to us. And so you might be interested into people working on spirocyclic compounds in perfumes. And you will find like tons of stuff. And the person I'm interested in is Sylvain Antoniotti, is one of the founder of of our alliance, and he's working in that field. And what is cool is that it didn't even match on sparse cyclic perfume. It was like perfume is potentially part of the description. So it's just that it relates it to the topic. So if you click on Sylvain, you're going to find his Scopus link, Orchid link, and the link to Match for Cooperation platform that I will present just after that. So it's a pretty basic, let's say, search engine, but it's very helpful to get to know each other, to find each other by some words or concepts that are a bit more like specific, complex than just a generic topic of research. So this is the Open Science platform. Let me come back to the presentation. And we have like over 380,000 publications. So there is already quite a good amount of data for the 3 institutions, like the 4 institutions that are present on the platform. And last not least, the third tool I want to present is a tool to engage with researchers from the community as soon as you've found them, or as soon as you've met them in the real life. So the tool in question is Match for Cooperation. So think about it as a Twitter clone or Blue Sky clone. I have put the QR code here so you can scan it if you want. You can like join us right now on Match for Cooperation. And the principle is simple, is we're going to put this app and this QR code in all our events so that you can like reach each other before the event and you can continue to get in touch after the event. And we have people in this social network that are sharing information, general information about what is happening in Ulysses, and more specifically on the research area, because it's a network for research. We don't invite students, we don't invite non-academic staff or whatever. It's really for researchers. So what you can do is you can post publicly, but as well you can post privately. There are some public groups and there are some private groups. So you can really like use it the way you want. If maybe it can be just a way to chat with fellow researchers that you've met during events, and that's it. And you just use it for private conversations or private group conversation. Or you want to make everyone aware about what you're doing in your research, like you would do on any other like research social network. And then you can do it the same way. Put some pictures, put some links, and like engage your community, your followers, into knowing what you're doing. So there is an Android app, iOS app, and a website. So I will present you here the app, okay, so that you have an idea of how it looks. So when you land, usually you will have an empty screen here because you don't follow anyone. And the empty screen here should tell you, hey, go in the generic feed and try to follow people so that you can then have something in your feed. So there are 2 ways of finding people. Either you go in the public feed and you check who is like posting here, or you search for people and you try to reach out to people you know are on the network. Let's say I know Adil is on the network, so I'm pretty sure I will find him and I can follow him. So I already follow him, so it's fine. But you can find people. So that's the way it works. As soon as you go on like and watch people, like you're gonna have pictures if you follow them or not, and the post they've done. So Dennis is quite new to the job. If you go to dissemination unit, of course, you're gonna have tons of stuff because this is really their job. And that's the way it works. And you have the message here where you're gonna have your notification and the private message. And on the private message, you can engage a conversation with anyone. So if I want to engage a conversation with Adil and say hello, that's it. I mean, it's not more complex than that. And Adil, on the other hand, will receive a hello message. I hope so. It works well. It doesn't show up. What is happening? Yeah, okay, it's showing up. But if you want to have like if you want to have some group conversations, well, then you can have those group conversations with more than one people. And if you want to create those group conversations, well, you just create a new group and you add Adil, you can add whatever, I don't know, Bruna is here. Yes, Bruna is here. And I can then have a conversation with the two of them. And that's it. We'll try to make it as simple as that. So this is for your private conversation. If ever you want to engage with a wider community, you must know that we have already some groups for all our innovation hubs, for instance, aging and well-being. And so when you create a message, you can mention them in your messages. So if I create a new post and I mention aging, I won't do it because I don't want to notify the whole aging community. But it's suggested. I can mention them and then share something about myself, like I've done a super nice thing about aging. Go and check it out. This is a way to engage with a public community. Roughly, that's it. I think. I mean, this is the way it works. If ever, yeah, I think that's it. We have a quite clear idea. So we already have pre-imported some researchers. Yeah, I didn't talk about it because it's just a experimental feature for now. But in your profile, you can put some keywords, and for now you cannot search for those keywords. So that's why I don't want to advertise about it too much. But the fact is that when you search people, the people that are recommended when you don't type anything are recommended based on similarity and keywords. So you're going to find similar people as you. And the same list is you will always have two people here, which are the people that are supposed to be the most similar to you. And you can find them and find some more. When you see invite, that means that we have pre-imported them, but they have not joined the platform. That means that you can decide to invite them, and it's not invasive. It will not spam them. It will just open your mail software and suggest a beginning of email to engage them to join Match for Cooperation. So it's really if you know someone, if you search for someone and you know them, you can engage them to join the Match for Cooperation. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Jean-Louis. Thank you very much. I don't know if you already have some questions regarding this first part, or if we can go on second part directly.
For now, we have no questions on the chat, but if someone wants to make a question, they can write on the chat or raise the hands, please.
Perfect. So please, Thomas, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will control my presentation by myself, or it will be...
No, it's okay. We will handle that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then. Well, then let me briefly introduce you to the process of creating research and innovation R&I groups within the European Ulysses European University called Ulysses. And this work package is led by the Technical University of Košice. In abbreviation, it is TUKE, and it is led specifically by Peter Džubka, my colleague, and his team. So my name is Tomáš Pavlik. I'm the Innovation Hub Manager, Ulysses Innovation Hub Manager at TUKE. And today my role is to provide you with an overview of these R&I groups. And the entire idea of joint groups is based on unified strategies supported by key infrastructures, particularly the innovation hubs, which facilitate connections, provide information and assist in the creation of groups. Of course, we also have the joint Ulysses RNI groups and the International Project Office IPO, which can support collaborative research on the project level by monitoring calls, preparing proposals, and so on. And when we talk about support structures, it's not only the Innovation Hub managers, but also the IPO and individual researchers and groups who can take advantage of networking and matchmaking tools. These include the already mentioned Open Science repository, the pilot Ulysses expert database, and the Match for Coup application, which actually Jean-Luc has already introduced to you. Next slide, please. Okay. Within the joint Ulysses groups, we classify and define a group as an association of at least 3 researchers from at least 2 Ulysses universities. To incorporate local ecosystems into the joint R&I research, we are of course happy to see associated partners connected to these groups if it aligns with their relevant areas of interest. And an important point to mention is that the creation of groups can take 2 directions. Firstly, this around Innovation Hub topics. So groups are formed around the topics driven by the Innovation Hubs, as you can see on the slide. These include the 8 themes, 8 topics led by individual Innovation Hubs, such as aging well-being in the case of University Côte d'Azur, or robotics, or AI for business and education, and other topics. Secondly, it is the direction of domain-specific RNI topics. Their groups arise from the needs of individual faculties or departments of Ulysses universities, reflecting societal challenges, let's say. Next slide, please. Yeah, and to support the research groups, the announcement of small grants is also planned. These grants are specifically intended to help form RNI groups, for example, by facilitating meetings to agree on an action plan. And the aim of the call is to support groups in their initial stages of formation, or networking, or alignment, and these grants are not intended for activities such as project writing or research and implementation, but really on those initial stages of let's say formation of teams. So we are talking about small grants, approximately 3,000 euros per participant, to give you an idea. And now or there, I would prefer not to mention exact details and rules or conditions of the call for proposal just yet, as the call is still under preparation and specific terms may change. However, it will be announced or opened very early, hopefully. Next slide, please. Yeah, here you can see a draft of the entire process. As an output, researchers will be required to submit a very simple action plan outlining the steps, the group plans to implement and carry out as part of their collaboration. it is important to note that individual group members as well as group itself must be registered in the Ulysses experts database to basically to be eligible for this grant from the seed fund. Next slide, please. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the announcement of the seed fund call for researchers is expected at the beginning of 2025. In addition to the first call, we are planning further calls, specifically second and third call, with the last one intended for a potential group expansion. The time frame for submitting an application will be around 2 to 3 months while the call is open. So and subsequently, you should receive the results within approximately 1 month. The idea is to make this flexible, that call that doesn't place too much administrative burden on researchers, but instead provide a really meaningful support. Next slide, please. Yeah, and just to recap, if you are or would like to become a member of research group, or if you have a research project for which you are seeking complementary experts from Ulysses universities, you can register in the expert database. There you can search for and reach out to suitable contacts for cooperation. It's important to agree on who will be the vision holder or group leader, as this needs to be indicated during the registration process. Additionally, individual members should be able to link themselves to the designated group leader or RNI group during their registration. And as you may noticed earlier, at the moment, the database includes nearly 500 experts from all Ulysses universities, so plenty of opportunities to network with those experts from other universities. Next slide, please. I don't think I have anything more to add here, except to mention that the database is not only for finding research collaborations, but can also be used by teachers to identify common topics for cooperation, except of research cooperation. Yeah, that will be basically all from me. Thank you for your attention, and if there will be some question probably in the end or final section of the webinar, I will be happy to answer if I will know.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Thomas, for this complete presentation. I think we have a question in the chat. So, is this platform allow registration or researchers worldwide or just Europe? So I think this is a question for both of you, Thomas and Jean-Loïc. I don't know which one of you would like to answer. Please.
I don't know who of us has more relevant information, but my information is to keep this pilot version of the database like within the Ulysses, and after that there will be a possibility to allow to register also participants from the outside the Ulysses. So it doesn't matter whether outside the EU. I don't know, maybe Adil or whoever has a more relevant information.
I can say that you have different visions, like technically, for instance, on the expert database, you can, my video is not starting. No worry. You can register even if you're not part of Ulysses. Then, of course, it makes sense if you want to collaborate with Ulysses researchers. So it's still more like to the destination of Ulysses researchers. And the ecosystem, meaning the private companies we work in, the partners we have. So of course, you can register if you have a strong will to be part of our ecosystem and be one of our partners.
If I may add something, we promoted this Ulysses expert database within our local ecosystem where also invited our associated partners and other local ecosystem, and they were suddenly surprised that during the registration they have to choose one of the university. So this is maybe one notice, just not to be surprised. Maybe you should mark your affiliated university, at least for the moment when this will be somehow resolved.
Thank you for this clarification. So we are available if you have any request about the integration in the platform. Please do not hesitate to contact us directly. We will put our email address here in the chat, so be free to do it. So thank you, Thomas, and I will now give the floor to Adil for the third part of this webinar. So thank you, Adil, to be our host today.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me crystal clear. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Sabrina, for hosting this, for organizing this webinar and hosting us speakers. I think I saw earlier some individuals, some people raised their hands. I don't know if there were some questions still running, but I'm sure that we are going to have another question session. I mean, anyways, so just keep these questions in your head, so we'll have plenty of time later on to discuss also other questions and open the floor to all type of questions. So, Adil Bakayan, I am the coordinator and manager of the Ulysses project office. I'm here today to present to you a little bit of what we are doing, and in terms of networking activities, but also try to tell you a little bit about. I'm not going to go into details, of course, of funding opportunities because many of you are of different disciplines. Many of you are. So I'm doing a disclaimer. Many of you are have different needs, and so it will be impossible to cover the funding needs for everyone. But the idea is to tell you a little bit of what is our strategic view from Ulysses' point of view, and if you are, of course, ready to jump on and join us on this journey of successful project writing and project submission. So let's dive in. So can you wait? Perfect. So what is the project office? International Project of Ulysses is basically different offices at each university, partner university of Ulysses, who joined resources and efforts in order to bring something, co-create something together around projects, European projects, submissions and management. So, the essential role of our essential mission or role is actually the central coordination of all these ideas about projects, proposals, and sharing the knowledge as well with the community, and try and actively, as we're going to see a little bit later, foster and help researchers and the communities to collaborate, but especially for successful projects. So this is our main mission. So to reach that, so of course the goal is to help researchers grow grow together at the European level, and also grow scientifically speaking at excellence level. So this is the idea. And to do so, as I mentioned earlier, the office is composed of what we call international project officers, who are representative of each Ulysses member university. So we have eight project officers, and who are going to work together, who are working together to drive towards the successful project submissions. So so the task force is important. We have different, let's say, roles into that. So we need to have a global overview of projects, what's going on. So that's, let's say, from internal point of view of the IPO. But our main, let's say, tools that we use and that we leverage are communication. Dissemination, trying to reach the scientific community and communicate to them, disseminate to them, identify calls and disseminate to them funding opportunities, organizing events and webinars, and like this one, for example. And we're starting slowly, but we're identifying more and more scientific thematic, probably areas of scientific research within under the umbrella of innovation apps, but not only. It's quite open. So we do work on that in that direction, and also there is also a big part of the support in proposal writing, especially non-scientific parts, and basically having this bigger view of what's going on into successful proposal. We're trying to help you succeed by knowing what works and what doesn't work. So basically, this is one of the important tasks that we are carrying in the IPO. So next slide, please, Bruna. Yeah, perfect. So that brings me to the let's say, try to summarize a little bit here the missions of the IPO, the project office. So basically, mainly, I would say, as I said earlier, is to help Ulysses researchers achieve excellence in research. I'm not going to go into details, of course, but you know how the project officers help in this support the researchers. You might already be working with one of them. The second most important one also is the coordination in terms of drafting, and we know that how sometimes it's difficult in terms of collaborative big consortiums, how the coordination can be difficult, and how to construct this, let's say, perfect consortium can be challenging sometimes. So we're here also to help you with that. As also I mentioned, in terms of call watch. So we do have this activity that is identifying the correct or the right calls. But before identifying, of course, the right opportunities, we need to know what we are looking for, because calls, there are so many. So it's kind of tricky, because it's good to know what we're looking for in terms of scientific disciplines, in terms of needs of the researchers. And that's why we want to work more and more closely with researchers to understand what what they are lacking. But know that this is part of our job. And of course, when we say identify these opportunities, we also talk about how to communicate them to you, how do they reach you. So this is something we're going to talk a little bit also later on about. A fourth service or mission, but this is kind of more like internal coordination, because the difficulty of at Ulysses, one of the challenges, I would say, not difficulty, and I think we are doing this quite well so far, is to bring together 8 project officers from different cultures, from different universities, to work together in a coordinated manner and going in the same direction. And this is one big part of our mission. Let's say not services to researchers, but it's a mission. But it also, if it works well, then it will be a service also to researchers indirectly. So this is important for us, how to work locally with our offices, how to work in the region with our stakeholders, and how to work at the European level with offices at the European level, at Ulysses level. And last but not least, I just summarized a little bit here the fifth missions and services, but we can also have some other ones that can be attached to that. The fifth one also, which we should not forget, is that submitting proposals is good already, but submitting successful, high rate possibility of successful proposal is another thing, and it's of importance to us, for you to know. So we give it. It's not only about submitting proposal. It's about submitting competitive proposals. So if you want to be if you have this mindset, if you have this, this dream of submitting, we know how they're very competitive, this kind of funding, and if you want to go to excel, then we are here to help you to do so. Okay, so in terms of the writing process, in terms of connecting with the right people, as I'm going to say later on, in terms of identifying the right cause, but because not all causes are necessarily the best, the correct ones, and also carefully choosing the cause. Sometimes it could be strategic because we can have 2 or 3 causes possible, but it could be also for example, we have more or less experience with one cause or another, but experience doesn't mean that we have more chance of success. It means also that others have also the same experience, and that will be more competitive. So sometimes it's good to go to some causes that are not so known, and in which we don't have experience, but we might have better chance to succeed. So it's a bit strategic also. So we're here also to help you with that, to make the decisions and move forward. Again, always the priority and the goal is also to write these competitive proposals and to help you with the success rate. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is just to give you a fresh idea, because an overview idea of type of proposals on projects, and the volumetry that we have today since 3 years, around 3 years. So far, we have like 51 proposals on projects that have been submitted. Let's say that you can see these are not completely updated because probably they lacked probably 5 days ago. Might have like two more. So the idea is to tell you that most of the proposal we try to go in, we try again to strive for this excellence and for this success rate. So if you can see from this graph, we can see already that we have quite good success rate in terms of what we submit. And if you look at the right graph, which is diversity of core programs, you will see that most of our cores today are focused on Erasmus. That's very simple, because when we started at European University, we had a lot of many ideas, institutional projects to help us advance in the university level, institutional level, and also at educational level. So it was strategic to start this way. Now today, like starting from last year, we started this new additional step, which is the research and innovation. So we are more and more oriented now towards also strategically open towards research and innovation projects. Typically, I would say Horizon, but not only the calls are so many. There are so many. It depends also on the thematic. So before I finish this slide, there are two important points I want to communicate. First of all topics are welcome. So it's not only about innovation apps thematics. This is very important to keep in mind. Two, and I stress again, we are going towards the research and innovation project. So in our kind of linear strategy, let's say, we will try to emphasize on these calls, on these opportunities. I've just given here some examples, but they're really merely examples. So the possibilities are multiple. So this is why I didn't want to go into details of for funding opportunities, but to pass a message. If you want to create a network, for example, before you don't have a network yet to start a project, because a good project, successful project, start with a good consortium. This is the base, and this makes the relation with the research and groups initiative and the seed funding of Ulysses that has been presented to you. If you have imagined an idea of a group of interdisciplinary idea or project wise, scientifically wise, of course, in terms of research and innovation, that would be a great motive to start and move it from probably you have your own network, and move it to a top notch at Ulysses level, at European level. We have the contacts that we need, that you need. We have the basic funding that we were talking about, the basic networking we're talking about, to start, developing these collaborative and intersectorial as well, and interdisciplinary projects. So this is an important base to start submitting and asking for European funding. This is like the base, and starting with, for example, with networking. I just gave here an example of cost actions that are very known to support thematic networks. Again, it is just really an example. For example, I put in here an example of joint degrees in terms of master degrees, doctoral degree. Master degree, we are more on Erasmus education. Doctoral degree, we are more on MSCA, Marie Skłodowska-Curie doctoral networks. And the idea for us also is to strive to create this future. It's not really future. It's been starting already some time ago. These multiple degrees, and try to, in terms of training, master or doctoral. I think today the importance is to emphasize this European dimension in the education. So we really want to push this steps further, I would say, and focus on these joint master degrees, joint PhD degrees programs that will tackle, that are also related to European priorities, global challenges, whatever you can imagine. So the idea is impact at European level, but also at scientific level excellence. So always keep these two important in mind, and this is what we try to achieve with our programmation, and with the philosophy of the IPO at Ulysses level. So I hope the message passed well enough. So yeah. So that brings me to the next slide, probably. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So just to give you a small information about what kind of events, because I talked earlier about events, but the goal at the end is not the event. The goal is to help you co-create successful proposals. Okay. Excellent, successful proposal. So I give you an example. For last year, we organized this. This is why I wanted to start with this one, and I didn't want to talk about it earlier. It's called. I know most of you know about it. It's Marie Curie postdoctoral fellowships. very prestigious, I would say, funding for postdocs and young doctoral doctors, young doctors, basically, to go to another location in the world, basically, not only Europe, by the way, and do some top-notch research for 2 years. 2 and even 3 years in terms when it comes to global exchange. So this is a very important funding stream. It's very competitive, but again, what we seek is excellence. When we put ourselves in this direction as an aim to succeed in a European proposal, is that we are also looking for excellence. We are also looking for to make our research, what we are doing, much better and shine much more and worldwide. So this is why we try to emphasize and encourage young researchers, young postdocs, young doctors. This is what we did last year. We launched an expression of interest about postdoctoral fellows who would like to join Ulysses, one of the Ulysses universities, one of the 8 Ulysses universities from around the world, or between two Ulysses universities. And what we did is to help them identify a match, doing a match. This is why, like we received last year, 25. This is why I kept the numbers, 25. We ended up by 11 matched candidates and supervisors. You know how does it work? I mean, you need to have a supervisor in order to apply for this call, and we ended up with five proposals submitted, really submitted. So and we tried to be more rigorous and more, let's say, competitive we can, as much as we can. So the idea is we are going to launch the same thing. What's the plus value is that we help researchers, young researchers, to write proposals. So we organize this master class for proposal writing, specific for postdoctoral fellowships, but also more general for Marie Curie. I hope that was quite fruitful. That's what I heard, at least last time. Yeah, so the idea is first get you in touch and facilitate the floor for you, connection for you, and second, train you in writing the successful and competitive proposals. And 3, of course, we're here also IPO members. Don't forget, they are part of the European project offices of each university. So we are here to help also administratively speaking and all with all tasks that go with. So we are going to launch the same thing in 2025 soon, basically by the end of the year. So don't hesitate we'll most probably send it around also in this list of people who were with us among us today. So don't hesitate to send it around. So I'm not going to go into details, just to give you some examples about the BIP, for example, that we organize. I don't know if you're familiar with the BIP, blended intensive program for European project management. We are also trying to be more and more present in scientific conferences, scientific settings, to basically to do this networking and outreach activity of the IPO. So don't hesitate, for example, if you know about a big known, well, not only known, scientific conference, or you organize something that you would like that the IPO come and come with you and try to make out some proposals and try to encourage to write some proposal. Don't hesitate to come to talk to us, so we can also be there and prepare some. It maybe depends on your thematic. We can prepare some webinar. We can prepare some, we can be there also. We can send some proposal opportunities for you to send around, so things like that. So don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. Yeah. So that's about the events. Next slide, just to see. Yeah. So I think it's my last slide before doing another exercise. This is just to tell you, so how can we help? So I think I try to summarize a little bit what I said in this presentation, in this slide, sorry. So basically, as I told you, setting up proposals, which is the second point, we are here to help you with that. Communication process, this is important. Like John Week talked about with Match for Coop, we have preference for that, but we see. I did a little bit, a bit of an exercise because I want to know what you think of all this, and we're here. Don't forget that we are here to connect people. So it's important. So don't forget that we are 8 partners. We are more than 150 associated partners. What does it mean, associated partners? It means non-academic or academic partners at the regional level at each European university. It can be NGOs, it can be public authorities, it can be hospitals, many industrial partners, and that have signed with us and said, okay, we are ready to go with you in proposals. We are ready to work with you in projects, etc. So don't forget that we have this pool of network partners, and we also have these international partners in Canada, Vietnam, in Mexico, and others will come around soon. And more than 10,000 researchers around, more than 200,000 students. So this is huge. So don't forget about all this. So it's really, Ulysses is a tool for you to use it for your projects, and we are here to help you use it and help you advance in your research and scientific experiences and quest. And then last but not least is about so we are also offering this collaborative space based on Microsoft Teams, in which we created this private space. So it's great for your proposals. If you don't want to communicate, if you don't want others to get in touch with your, when you put it on open repositories out there, you don't know where your proposals end up. So it's a secure, restricted access that would protect your sensitive proposal and project information. It also complies with the EU security and data management protocols. So don't hesitate. If you we have this. You have this possibility to ask us as a coordinator if you are coordinating a proposal which is labeled Ulysses. Yeah, that makes me think of something. You can have this possibility to host your files, your repository with us, okay? With our and then you'll have full access. You can manage it as you want. That brings me to another. Yeah, I just thought about it. What is an Ulysses project? A Ulysses project. At which moment we say that this is a Ulysses project? This is not a Ulysses project. A Ulysses project is what we call here a satellite project in our world. It means that there are at least 2 Ulysses partners that are involved in a European project. Okay, 2. They don't have to be, not necessarily being a coordinator. Better if they are, but not necessarily. But at least 2. Okay, that would bring me to my last slide, I guess. Bruna, if I remember, yes. So without the team, there is nothing possible. I mean, the team is very important. And here I want to tell you that you can get in touch with us at whatever moment, whenever you have questions. You can get in touch with me directly. But you also have what I talked earlier about IPOs, which are international project officers that are identified at each university, Ulysses University, and to whom you can reach out and ask your questions, whatever you have in mind. Please just go and reach to them, and of course you can reach to me directly. That's yeah. So without further ado, I think Sabrina, if we can go to the next. First of all, probably. Shall we keep the questions later on, Sabrina, or
no, you please go on your activity, and we will do the
session
and then questions
okay.
just after.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So, so I invite you. So here's the thing. At what we do, as I think you understood a little bit the philosophy of what we do, and basically what we want also is to know you better. Okay, so the idea is to of this coming session. It will be, of course, a little bit exclusive to researchers and principal lecturers. Sorry for the others, for those who practice research and would like to jump into projects that are present in the room. So basically, the goal is to better understand, your experiences, your needs, your challenges, in terms of EU funding opportunities and project management as well, which comes later on, the second phase always. And this feedback would help us to shape a little bit the IPO's services, to better support, the research, your research journeys, I would say, yeah. So basically, that's where it is. So it's kind of, I think, 12 or 13 questions, not questions, but it's kind of it's an interactive phase in which I prepared some questions that we estimate for us are important to know, to know what you would like to explore. So I invite you now to either to scan the QR code if you want to use your mobile phone, or just to copy paste to go on the website wooclap.com and enter the code. Okay, and then you're there, and then we'll start. Okay, so I give you like 30 seconds, 1 minute to do so, and then we just start. Okay. Thank you, Sabrina. Yes, perfect. If you have problems, just let me know. Okay. Can I have Bruna? Can I have the hand to? Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you can share it when you want to.
Perfect. Okay,
This one.
perfect. Okay, because this way it will be easier, to show you what I see, and to follow together, Okay. Share the number 2. Yes. Do you see? Not yet. Share. Yeah, I have to click on button. Yeah. Normally you should be screen. You should see the screen. My screen.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we are 39. I think we can just start. First question. Opening question. So how would you rate your familiarity with EU funding on scale from 1 to 5? I have a 2.9 medium. That's great. Okay. So basically, the idea for us here is to know a little bit, to sense the room's over experience, a little bit what to. Okay, we have half of you didn't respond yet. 21 or 40. So just go. I will try to give you every time a little bit less than 1 minute so that we don't eternalize. It doesn't go forever. Now we just jump. Basically, yeah, this will help us a little bit appreciate what's your level and of this community around us that is present, and would reflect also a little bit what's happening around. Okay. 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 So I will be going to the next one in 5 seconds. So if you have any last. Okay, let's go next one. So this first section actually is just, is to try to know you a little bit. So earlier it was about your level of expertise, involvement, and if you in one word, yeah, good, time bureaucracy, good, one word, yeah. There are going to be 2 questions. So this one is the biggest challenge, and the next one will be the biggest. I forgot now. uh, don't say it. Nice, good. Time, okay. Mm-hmm. I see that time and bureaucracy come often. So these are I'm taking notes because these are like interesting points to discuss, and see what what do you expect, how do you see a solution for that, etc. So this is very interesting. Mm-hmm. I see some consortium as well coming up. Competition, yeah, of course, competition, yeah, that's the EU funding, yeah. So competition means probably behind. It also means that we do a lot of work for a lower rate of success. So it's kind of so much work for not surely to be successful. So it goes together with time, bureaucracy. Yeah, paperwork. I think paperwork and bureaucracy would be something that are attached to the project management phase. So there are 2 phases, let's say big phases. One is the setting up the proposal and submit it, and 2, if it's granted, then you have to manage it. So they are both attached to either one or the other. Okay, so it's very interesting. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. I give you 5 seconds just in case to finish your thoughts. Perfect. Okay. Next. Your biggest need. Yeah. So that was it's formulated otherwise. So the idea it's kind of a solution. What would you, yeah, support? Yeah, it's great. Capacities. Okay. Okay. A consortium. Ah, I see. That goes with the, yeah, challenge. Consortium. Yeah, again. Yeah, I should have done it on a cloud format. I see. There's some method as well. Okay, methodology that goes probably with preparation for proposal writing. Administrative support. That's what basically our European offices are here for administrative support. But probably administrative support at the beginning, or at the first phase, which is mounting and setting up the project, or at the second phase, which is probably project management. So there are 2 administrative supports we're talking about. And which are distinct from one another. Okay, let's see. Always the same thing. Okay, give you more 5 more seconds. I don't want to make it long. Capacity, yeah, but it goes around support and administrative support, writing and assisting in writing. The details, yeah. Pre-evaluation. It's interesting. You will have the floor later on. We have the floor to discuss all these points. If you want to, to go a little bit deeper in that, you will be probably of course you'll have the floor to go inside. But I kind of see what you mean. Okay. Okay, let's go next one. Yeah, this is a tricky one. How often do you collaborate with the non-academic partners? Which means companies, NGOs, municipalities, hospitals, just not universities. Okay. Always, sometimes, rarely. Okay. Okay. This is a tricky one. I'm saying because often what happens is that this question often comes negative when we are dealing with thematics like social sciences, etc. So people don't see the need or don't see the not only the need but also don't probably have the network they need to go and search for non-academic partners. So it's kind of challenging, for example, for them, for social sciences, to find the right persons, and this is what we are here for. So if for example, and this I will give you the floor later on, just after, to tell me for those who I think, yeah, 21. Yeah, I'll just give you five more seconds. Basically, I will give you the floor to express a little bit what you have in mind on always, often, sometimes, and then on the second, another question on rarely and never. So the idea is to tell us why is this happening? Why can't you, for example, or for whatever reasons, and we would love to hear about those reasons. Okay. Let's move on. Thank you. Perfect. It's quite representative. We're in the middle. Yeah. So I was talking about. So for those who answered always, often, sometimes, what kind of support of these external partners provide? So just write in a word. What kind of support? Is it services? Is it collaboration, research collaboration? Is it I don't know? Is it training? Expertise, yeah, industry expertise, great. Awareness, data, yes, that comes a lot. Data, samples, it goes with, yeah, data. Okay. Impact. I see the impact is very interesting. The impact, if I don't know if I interpret it correctly, would be more like, okay, so how do I transform my research results into something tangible, with a non-academic partner? So that would be behind the impact word, I guess. Business needs, yeah, of course. Application, yeah. That's application. Perfect. That's great. Okay. That's quite representative. Yeah, I see. Dissemination. I like dissemination. Yeah, that's great. Good. Okay. Nice. Okay, 5 seconds, and then we move on. Okay. Now turn for those who answered rarely, never. Why? Why do you think you can't? Or you don't have opportunity or whatever? The main reason, one or two. Why? Uh, how much here? Okay, no impact. Okay. Thank you for pointing those two out. Accuracy. Okay. Fundamental. Yeah, of course. Before fundamental, then it's complicated to see the. Okay. So I'm going to try to speed up a little bit. So I'm sorry, because we don't want to overstep on the timing. Okay. So thank you. Let's move on. Okay. I see. Trust. Yeah, it goes with trust. Just quickly, like this. So give you 30 seconds of 20 seconds. What kind of EU funding programs have you been involved or applied to? Just to have an idea in which categories you've been involved. If you have some others, I may put some known calls, some calls that are mostly bottom up or top bottom, or others. Yeah.
Dobry, pozdrawiam. No,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see a lot of Horizon already. It's quite good. Erasmus too. We're both going together. Okay. Perfect. 5. And then we move on. Okay. Next one. Yeah. So this is like in words. What would be? Just giving some examples. What would be your most challenging parts in your proposal process? Idea generation, proposal writing, finding academic partners. That goes with challenges a little bit, but it's a bit more specific. You can put whatever you want. Okay. Documentation, I see. Okay. So we move on. Okay. What type of support would you like from the IPO to prioritize? So this is important for us to know what would be your priority number 1, 2, 3, etc. So you can also highlight any other thing that you see, you find appropriate. Hmm. Non, il reste encore c'est 13, 9. Ouais. Je vais aller vite. Ah ouais, je cours. Ah d'accord. Ok. Next question. Thank you. Perfect. I think that would be our last question because we don't have much time. The other 2 questions are mostly, yeah, so that just give us an idea of what would you be the most helpful, of course, way to support, Is it j'ai un autre. Okay, let's go. One more slide, one more question because it's important for us also. So that's great. We already have some quite good participations. Which one is this? Yeah, this one. So, what communication channels you prefer for updates and support from the IPO? So earlier John Week talked about Match for Cope, which is a great tool. I'm also proposing others. We're also proposing others. It depends what you use most. Emails. I know we send a lot of emails, so probably people don't have always. Okay. Okay. I see. Mostly for emails. It's 15:25. I think it's about time to stop this. Okay, we give 5 more seconds and then we close the questionnaire and the interactive session. Okay, so thank you Thank you all for your participation. That's great. Thank you for staying with us until now. That's perfect. Let's move on to research questions and answers session. Stay in research, oriented. So please, floor is yours. You can. Do we have, by the way, Sabrina, any questions on the from the chat? I didn't pay attention. Just have a look.
I think we
Already.
have answered the question in the chat.
Perfect. Okay, nice.
We have one. So from Julia, are there any opportunities in Ulysses dedicated to master students, especially M2s who are highly interested in research and academic career? So this is very wide question. So of course, yes, of course we have. Julia, in which country are you? Could you maybe specify your question? You can also open your microphone if you prefer.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm a master student of University of Côte d'Azur, France, but I'm studying at the online program Smart at Tech. So my country of residence for now is Serbia.
Okay. Yes, of course we have, and this is the purpose of Ulysses, to bring some bridge between countries. So yeah, we need to talk maybe on one-to-one about that to study your needs and to find maybe an appropriate degree for your case.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Maybe could you put your email in the chat?
Yeah, sure. Just a little elaboration, because I have heard all the presentations of projects and I kind of had impression that they are dedicated to researchers who are PhDs or postdocs, and maybe this was just, maybe there is some wider scope too. That was I was interested in.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. I am keeping your needs, and I will get back to you with more precise answer to help you to find the right solution.
Just to elaborate on that, so we're working on a student platform for next year, and one of the hot topics that the students are requesting to us is exactly that: is how can we pursue our experience into Ulysses beyond our studies and have access to internships, have access to jobs within the Ulysses ecosystem. So this is something that we do like one by one, let's say, today, and that we should really like invest on to generalize and to make it easier for everyone.
Thank you for this precision, Jean-Luc. Thank you. I will go to next question from Delina Radoslav. So do you plan to support also directly with proposal writing? That as IPO will offer some capacities for writing? I think this question is
That's for
for
me.
you, Adil. Yes.
Yeah, that's for me. That's for me. Take it. Thank you. Thank you, Ardo, for Radoslav for asking the question. Basically, the IPO, we can. What do you mean by proposal writing? Because there are two types of let's say information in a proposal. You have scientific technical information, and then you have the non-scientific, non-technical, which goes with the relates to the impact, relates to the to how you disseminate, etc., etc. So how you protect your IP. So in terms of non-scientific, non-technical information, we can help you with that. That's for sure. But when it comes to with these sessions, but when it comes to the technical scientific parts, it's a bit complicated sometimes. So it's because it requires some kind actually of expertise in the domain to be able to freely express and and be tangible and impactful in the writing process. So so I would say yes. With non-scientific technical sessions, we are here to help you. Yes.
Thank you very much, Adil. I think we have more questions. So let's see. Okay, yeah, we have a question from Labani. So do you also have funding opportunities that allows making consortium with institutions in Africa? So may we have some opportunities?
Africa, it depends what you mean, what we mean by it depends what you mean in terms of funding opportunities, because is it what you're looking for? Is it research or is it education? Is it or setting up joint degrees? It depends on your type of funding. But I would say yes, there are funding opportunities that would tackle these countries in Africa, but not only. It's low-income countries or to widen, the impact of the EU funding. So there are opportunities, yes, indeed, for those countries. But it would depend, of course, on exactly the thematic that you are tackling. Okay, I hope that was clear. The answer is yes.
Thanks, Adil, and thank you for all these questions and interest. I think we have one more question from Paolo. Imagine I want to apply for an ERC consolidator or advanced grant or the next Interreg Med. How can these Ulysses initiatives help me?
Yeah. So, yes, some of you know there are we would say in Ulysses, as I said earlier, that's why I said it. I hope it was clear that we support programs in which there are two Ulysses universities that are involved. In terms of ERC or money beneficiary proposals, it's a bit more complicated, but we can also help you doing the same with another funding stream, which is more collaborative, or which would, for example, in Interreg, as you mentioned. Yeah. So we can also help you. It depend on the call, on your need, as again. So it's very important to know the need always, and we'll try to direct you and help you with the best funding call that will suit you, but also suit Ulysses, suit us at Ulysses level, so that we can maximize our chances. I hope that was clear.
Yes, it was very clear, Adil. Thank you. Are we having more questions in the chat, or just you can raise your hands and we will answer directly to you? Or are we good? Please do not hesitate to ask your question if you have, or just comment the sessions, giving us some feedbacks or remarks. This is very important for us. Okay, so anyway, we have put some information in the chat. So you have the links, you have our contacts, my LinkedIn profile if you are using LinkedIn as well. So do not hesitate to add me and directly contact me there. Okay, so thank you everyone for participating and attending this meeting. We are very delighted to have you and to host this webinar. We will send you the replay if you need, all the links to subscribe to our digital platform and tools. Thank you very much to all of you, and especially to Jean-Louis, Adil, and Thomas, to have hosted this webinar with me today. It was a great pleasure. So yeah, see you very soon. And again, thank you very much for attending this meeting. Goodbye.
Thank
Goodbye.
you very much.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Bruna.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.